a lot of it's my real life clothes or my husband's clothes or my girlfriend Gigi's clothes. I was borrowing some.
Wait, that's kind of amazing. So you have something of Gigi's in the movie.
Yeah, it's like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue, something new.
Wait, which one? Now I want to think of the scene.
Oh, I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
Tons of like Bodhi, which is with the suit now that I'm wearing is Bodhi. It was meant for my husband, but I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear, but it's so pretty. Look at it. You guys are not getting it in the shot.
I for sure fell short, and you worked really hard on that, and the way you framed it, and how that made you feel. I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me. That takes a lot of trust and vulnerability, and I feel really grateful that you feel safe enough to tell me that that's how you feel and share that with me. And I'm really sorry. I f***ed up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect. I'm a very flawed man, as my wife will attest. And and I'm gonna f*** up. I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. I'm gonna piss you off, probably, but I will always apologize.
What happens when the carefully constructed facade of Hollywood collaboration crumbles? We're used to seeing red carpets and smiles, but behind the scenes of the upcoming movie It Ends With Us, starring Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, a very different story was unfolding. Creative sparks were supposed to fly, but instead, they ignited a firestorm of tension, revealing a clash of visions and a behind-the-scenes drama that no one saw coming. Get ready to witness the unexpected meltdown of a dream project.
It's a bit of a tough adjustment in our house, but it's good. I mean, I have two other daughters, so my oldest is very into the baby, but my middle child, not so much. But we're thinking of keeping her.
Does she like play with her? What does she think?
Well, she sort of like pretends to play with her. So like in the beginning, our oldest is like loving on her, and she's like very maternal, and then our middle daughter is just keeps away from her.
Blake Lively wasn't just showing up as an actress for It Ends With Us. This story resonated with her deeply. She felt a powerful connection to the themes of the novel and saw opportunities to make the film even more impactful, more relevant to a contemporary audience. This wasn't about ego, it was about passion. Blake believed the script, while solid, could be elevated. And she wasn't afraid to take the initiative. She started proposing modifications, digging into the nuances of the narrative, driven by a desire to honor the source material but also inject her own creative vision. But this proactive approach, this desire to refine and reshape, would soon become a major point of contention.
It's based on a beautiful, really important book, and it's about a young woman named Lily who confronts the generational cycles in her life and breaks them and ends the circle. Mm-hmm. And I hope people find it inspiring, and yet also, it's a film about a heavy topic. It's about domestic violence.
And I'm excited to have a creative partner in that with you. And it's just really exciting. There's so much more to say. There's so much I want to say. And there's one thing that I do need to say, which is I am so sorry you have been through what you've been through with these other filmmakers and producers or whoever the people were that you worked with. It just pissed me off. Those that I'm just still kind of blown away that this is the industry that we're in and that you've experienced that as a woman. And I know I don't need to say it, but that's not at all going to be or will be, and hopefully it's not been the experience with me. There's nothing more exciting to me like that I get to work with Blake Lively and have her, all of her. I mean, that's what I want. And so there's been no hesitancy with me sending you the final draft file. I am totally fine with that. The only reason I didn't send it today was because I was trying to implement and add your notes into my working draft, which is already like I'm all over that draft right now. So there's a whole bunch of new stars that are going to be collated pages. And I just haven't had a chance to send it to you.
Picture this, a pre-production meeting, the air thick with anticipation. Justin Baldoni walks in, confident, expecting a routine check-in on the script, but Blake Lively arrives armed with something entirely different, a fully reworked version of a crucial scene, infused with her vision and the creative firepower of Reynolds and Swift. The atmosphere shifted instantly. Justin was, to put it mildly, caught off guard. He'd envisioned a collaborative discussion, not a complete overhaul. His initial reaction wasn't just lukewarm, it was icy. He struggled to reconcile Blake's sweeping changes with his own directorial vision, especially so late in the game. This wasn't a polite disagreement, it was a creative collision of epic proportions.
But there's no hesitancy. I'm happy to send it to you. And I'm sorry that has happened to you before. And I hope after this experience there will be a new, I don't know, I hope it'll be healing in some way. Because that's all I want. I want this movie to be healing. I want this movie to be commercial just like you and affect people and touch people. And I want to walk you through my whole plan and the work that we're doing with the domestic violence partner that we found no more and just my vision. And I just know that this can be really, really special, and it's going to be special. And you're the secret sauce, and we're the secret sauce. And anyways, I have so much more to say. I'm going to stop rambling because Jesus Christ, it's been 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So me. I'm sorry. You probably have kids all over you and a baby on your boob, and you're listening to me ramble at 2 a.m. I hope you're feeling better, and give Ryan my love. Thank you for sending me that. It means the world to me that you trust me with your feelings and your thoughts like that. And I can't wait to spend more time with you. Okay, I'm done cutting myself off. Good night.
We always tease each other. He was, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I, went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can. He's like, this is a horrible thing to say. And he's like, I mean, I've got a long list. And I was like, oh really? Because I just have 1 on my list. I didn't have anyone on my list.
And it wasn't funny anymore.
No, it's so much more of a burn. He's like, wait, who? And I was like, oh, think of someone.
Right.
Bob Newhart. I don't know.
The rooftop meeting imploded, leaving a cloud of tension hanging over the production, but what happened next was unexpected. Late that night, or rather in the dead of night around 2 a.m., Blake Lively's phone buzzed. It was a voice message from Justin Baldoni, not a text, not an email, but a nearly 7-minute audio confession. In it, the director, the co-star, the man who seemed resistant just hours earlier was laying bare his vulnerability. He apologized, he admitted fault, he acknowledged Blake's perspective and the value of her ideas. This wasn't a PR-crafted statement, this was a raw, late-night outpouring of remorse, a surprising attempt to bridge the widening gap.
I was testing for a show that ended up actually getting picked up and doing very well, and I was one of 2 people maybe, and then I get a call from my managers and my agent. They were both on the line, which means it's something serious.
Right.
Either you got the job or there's something wrong.
Yeah, no.
And they said, so you were the choice, but the network said that your eyebrows would be too distracting.
Oh, what?
Oh no.
And then they went like, so what can we do about your eyebrows?
And find my way back to center. That is one thing I can assure you of. And I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That must have felt terrible. And I will for sure do better. That was not my best weekend, and I should have given it more time. And damn right, you got great friends if that's how you felt and they knew that. And we should all have friends like that, aside from the fact that they're 2 of the most creative people on the planet. The 3 of you guys together is unbelievable. Talk about energy and just a force, all 3 of you. But I just wanted you to know that I didn't need that, because it's really good and it's going to make the movie sing like you said, and I'm excited to go through the whole movie with you. I'm just excited to spend time with you. I'm excited to be in your sphere and your presence, and for us to share creative juices together, although that sounds terrible. I think you and I have been trying to build a relationship, which I think we've done successfully. I mean, here we are.
The 2 a.m. apology was a step towards reconciliation, but it didn't magically erase the conflict. Instead, things took a sharp turn towards legal territory. Lawyers were hired, battle lines were drawn. Justin Baldoni's team, in a move for radical transparency, announced they wanted to release all communications, texts, emails, voice messages, to prove his good intentions. Blake Lively's legal team pushed back hard, fighting to keep private conversations private, fearing a selective release could twist the narrative and sway public opinion. Suddenly, this behind-the-scenes drama wasn't just about creative differences. It was a legal showdown, a fight for control of the story itself, playing out in the harsh glare of the Hollywood spotlight.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 a.m. Hopefully this does not wake you up. Whew. Wow. There's so much I want to say to you, and I hope that we can FaceTime or see each other in person soon and get to talk more. But I'm just going to send you a few thoughts, and hopefully it's not going to be more than a few minutes. But that I don't have the best track record. I don't think either one of us have the best track record for our voice memos. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank, and I'm really sorry.
I'm honored, and I'm also more honored that because, you know, what we're talking about is so important and so meaningful, that we're able to have this much anticipation, and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. Like, that's what I'm grateful for.
And you had a key part in bringing it to the big screen. How did this all come to be?
Well, in 2019, I read the book. I was sent the book by my book agent and friend at the time, and I was looking for films that could inspire, that were commercially viable, but also could really like reach in and touch somebody's heart.
In the aftermath of the public drama, Justin Baldoni stepped into damage control mode. He spoke openly about the incident, not just apologizing to Blake, but reflecting on the broader lessons for Hollywood. He emphasized the importance of communication, humility, and respecting actors' creative contributions, especially female leads. He framed his apology not as a sign of weakness, but as a necessary step towards building trust and fostering true collaboration on set. His public introspection became a kind of Hollywood wake-up call, sparking conversations about power dynamics, creative autonomy, and the need for safer, more respectful creative spaces. But the question remained, was this genuine change or just damage control in action?
Talking like this, me into my phone at 2 a.m, but largely via text and voice note. And I will be honest with you, that is not my biggest strength. I love being with people and being in somebody's space and being face to face, and I feel like that's where I excel, and definitely fallen short at times in our text and voice note exchanges because there's so much to communicate and there's so much happening, and all that to say, I'm just really looking forward to spending time together. And I think that's going to really go a long way for our chemistry, which I believe is there, and has been there from the start. So I was so damn excited when you wanted to do this film. I felt it in the room when we met, and yeah, I think it does come from the both of us being hardworking and having a vision and not settling.
She said, just read it, because I was looking for movies that could be commercial and speak to the human experience. And
were you reading romance novels?
And I had never read a romance novel.
Never?
And she said, just trust me, read it. So I read it, and by the end of the book...
So, can a 2 a.m. apology fix a Hollywood meltdown? Maybe not entirely. But in the case of It Ends With Us, Justin Baldoni's very public act of contrition offered a glimmer of hope. It showed a willingness to confront mistakes, to listen, and to potentially recalibrate the traditional Hollywood power dynamics. Whether It Ends With Us becomes a cinematic triumph remains to be seen, but this behind-the-scenes drama has already served a purpose, sparking vital conversations, highlighting the importance of respect and collaboration, and suggesting that even in the high-stakes world of Hollywood, sometimes a sincere sorry can be the first step towards building something better. Perhaps this rocky moment will ultimately pave the way for a more understanding and unified creative future. What happens when the carefully constructed facade of Hollywood collaboration crumbles? We're used to seeing red carpets and smiles, but behind the scenes of the upcoming movie It Ends With Us, starring Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, a very different story was unfolding. Creative sparks were supposed to fly, but instead they ignited a firestorm of tension, revealing a clash of visions and a behind-the-scenes drama that no one saw coming. Get ready to witness the unexpected meltdown of a dream project.